Hi, I'm Anita. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a bracelet tutorial, and the bracelet's called Fi Faux Fun, and it's from a book called Beadweaving Beyond the Basics by Kassie Shaw. I'll have links in the description box below that will give you the details of all the products used in today's video, including the book. So for materials, you're going to need Miyuki 11/0 and 15/0 seed beads. So I have them in three colors: opaque black, I have 11/0 and 15/0. I also have a luster white 11/0 and 15/0. And then this is a purple color in 11/0 and 15/0. So I'll have measurements of all the materials. For beading thread, I'm using Fireline 6-pound and a size 12 beading needle. So let's get started. So we're doing what's called faux right angle weave, and we're going to start by creating a row of beads 7 units long using faux right angle weave. So I'm going to start by picking up my black 11/0, and then I'm going to pick up 3 11/0s in white, like that. I'm going to bring that down, and you don't need a very long tail. We'll be weaving that in. So now I'm going to bring my needle back through my black 11/0, pull that together, and now I want to go back through all the beads. So I've gone back through all the beads, and I'm exiting the 11/0 in black. So for our next step, we're going to pick up a black, but in 15/0 this time. Then we're going to pick up an 11/0 in black, and then we're going to pick up 2 11/0s in white. So you're going to have a 15/0 in black, an 11/0 in black, and then your 2 11/0s in white. So we're going to bring that down, and we're going to bring our needle back through the 11/0 in white on the right hand side. We're going to skip the 15/0 in black and go through the 11/0 in black, right there. Let's pull that together. So we're going to repeat that 5 more times. So I'm picking up a 15/0 in black, 11/0 in black, and 2 11/0s in white. Bring my needle down through the 11/0 in white on this last square we did. I'm going to skip the 15/0 in black and go through the 11/0 in black, right there. Pull that together. That's what you should have so far. And this needs to come down. So we have 3 units. So I'm exiting the 11/0 in black. I'm going to pick up another 15/0 in black, 11/0, and 2 11/0s in white. Coming down the 11/0 in white, right there. Skipping the 15/0 and going in through the next 11/0 in black. I'm going to do that 3 more times. to my last unit. I've got my 15-0, my 11-0 in black, and 2 11-0s in white. Bringing my needle down this right-hand side of my white bead, skipping the 15-0 in black, and going through the 11-0 in black. So that's what you should have. So that's our first row, and then we'll go on to our next step. For our next step, we're going to be picking up a 15-0 in black, and right now our thread is exiting this 11-0 that we just finished our last unit on. We're going to bring our needle up through this white bead right there. So that puts your 15-0 at the very end of that row. So now we're going to pick up a 15-0 in white, and we're going to bring our needle through this top 11-0 right here. And that's going to put your 15-0 at the very end. So now we're going to continue adding a 15-0 in white, exiting this 11-0. We're going to go in through the next 11-0. And that's going to put a 15-0 in between those two 11-0s. So we're going to repeat that all the way across. Pick up a 15-0 in white, exiting this 11-0, going into the next 11-0. Pick up another 15-0 in white, exiting here, going into this next 11-0. And just keep going. Coming down to my last 15-0 in white, exiting this 11-0, going into this last 11-0. And that completes that step. For our next step, we're picking up a 15-0 in white. We're exiting this 11-0, and we're going to go through this last 11-0 in white. And pull. Now we're going to pick up a 15-0 in black. We're exiting this 11-0 in white. We're going to go into this next 11-0 in black. Now we're going to advance our thread through the next 15-0 and the 11-0 in black. Right there. Now we're going to advance our needle through the 11-0 in white and the 11-0 in white on the diagonal, right there. That's going to step us up so that we are in the second unit coming out of this 11-0 right here. For our next step, we're going to pick up 11-0 in white, an 11-0 in black, and an 11-0 in white. Our thread is coming out of this 11-0. We're going to go in through the opposite side of where our thread is exiting. My thread is exiting this 11-0. I'm going to go through the 15-0 in white. And I'm going to go through the 11-0 in white. Now we're going to pick up a 15-0 in black, exiting this 11-0, going in through the black 11-0. So it's going to put the 15-0 at the beginning of this row, like that. For our next step, we're going to pick up a 15-0 in black, an 11-0 in black, and an 11-0 in white, like that. We're going to bring our needle through the 11-0 that's on our row, and also the 11-0 on the diagonal, right there. Pull that through. Now our thread is exiting this 11-0 in white. We're going to skip that 15-0 in black and go through the 11-0 in black, right there. And we're going to repeat this step 4 more times. So you're picking up a 15-0 in black, an 11-0 in black, and 11-0 in white. I'm exiting this 11-0. I'm going to bring my needle through the 11-0 on the row and the 11-0 on the diagonal, like that. I'm exiting the 11-0 right here on the top. I'm going to skip the 15-0 and go through the 11-0 in black. Again, pick up a 15-0 and an 11-0 in black and an 11-0 in white. Exiting this 11-0 in black, I'm going to bring my needle through the 11-0 on the row and the 11-0 on the diagonal. Then through the 11-0 in black. Do that 2 more times. So coming down to my last section, 15-0, 11-0 in black, and an 11-0 in white, coming through the white 11-0 on the row and on the diagonal. Then through the 11-0 in black at the top. That's what you should have so far. For our next step, we're going to pick up a 15-0 and an 11-0 in black. And now we're going to pick up 2 11-0s in white, like that. So we're going to go through this 11-0 at the very end. Then we're going to go through the 11-0 in black, right there. Now we're going to pick up a 15-0 in black, we're going to go through the 11-0 in white. We're going to pick up a 15-0 in white. We're going to go through this 11-0. Then we're going to go through the 15-0 in white. Now we're going to go through the 11-0 in white. And now we're going to go through the 11-0 and the 15-0 in black. Right there. And that ends that row. So as you notice, it's starting to do a little bit of a diagonal shape. And now we'll go on to our next step. All right, we're going to go on to our next step. Now, starting with this segment, I'm going to let you know, if you want to mark the spot on this video, these next 5 steps is what you're going to be repeating for the pattern of the bracelet. So if you want to do it in multicolors, you can do that, or you can do it in one color, but the process is going to be the same. So from here, we're starting our next row, or our third row, and we're going to pick up our new colors. So I'm going to start with my black. I've got, your black is your border, so that's going to be the first bead you're picking up. And now I'm going to put the purple in here. So I'm picking up 1 black and 3 purples to start my next color row. So I'm exiting this 15-0 here at the end. So I'm going to bring my thread through that first black bead, the new one I just added. So I've got my 11-0 in black and then my 3 11-0s in purple. My thread is exiting, going this way, so I'm going to bring my needle towards my working thread through the black bead right there. And I'm going to hold on to that and just pull this together, because you want that next square to be right next to your work. Just pull that together like that. So from here, we're going to pick up a 15-0 in black. We're exiting right here. We're going to go into our next purple bead. Now we're going to pick up a 15-0 in purple. We're exiting here. We're going to go into this next purple bead. So with our thread exiting the top of this purple bead here, we're going to go down through to reinforce this purple bead here. Now we're going to go through this 15-0 in black, and the 11-0 in black. We're going to go through those 2 beads right there. So after going through the 15-0 and the 11-0 in black, we're now going to go through the 2 11-0s in purple, skipping the 15-0. So we're going to just skip this 15-0 at the end as well. So we're going through these next 2 beads right here, like that. And notice I'm skipping my 15-0. Pull that through. and my thread is exiting this 11-0 at the top. So now we're going to pick up 15-0 in purple and 2 11-0s in purple. Right there. So we're going to come down through the black 11-0, going in this direction. Right there. Pull that through. Now, with your thread coming out of this black 11-0, you're going to go through the 11-0 that's next in line, the purple, and the 11-0 on the diagonal in purple, like that. So that's what you should have so far. So I've got 2 units there. So we're going to repeat this 5 more times. So you're picking up a 15-0 in purple and 2 11-0s in purple. You're exiting this top purple bead. We're going to come in through the 11-0 that's next in line in the row below. So that's going to be that bead right there. Pull that together. And now you're going to advance your needle through the purple bead here and the one on the diagonal. Right there. You're going to repeat that 4 more times. 15-0 in purple, 2 11-0s in purple. Coming through the next black 11-0 in line, right there. Now advance through the purple just above you and the purple on the diagonal. And continue. Coming down to my last 15-0 in purple, picking up 2 11-0s in purple, going into the 11-0 next in line, going through my purple above and the purple on the diagonal. Now we're going to pick up a 15-0 in purple. We're exiting this purple bead. We're going to go down through this next purple bead on the row. Now we're going to advance through. I'm going to turn my work. My thread's coming out of this 11-0 in purple here. I'm going to go through the black 15-0 that's just below, the 11-0, the 15-0, and the 11-0 in black. So I'm going through those 4 beads just below. My thread is exiting the 11-0 in black by my second unit. Now I'm going to advance through the purple above and the purple on the diagonal. and that is stepping up to start the next row. So that's where your thread should be coming out of, right there. So now we're going to go on to the next step. We're going to pick up a purple, a black, and a purple in 11/0s. Now we're going to bring our needle back through the bead where our thread is exiting on the opposite side. So with our thread exiting this purple 11/0 right here, we're going to go through this next 15/0 in purple, and we're also going to go through the 11/0 in purple just above it. Right here. So your needle should be coming out of this bead right here. All right, so that's where our thread's coming out. So from here, we're going to pick up a 15/0 in black. And now we're going to go through the 11/0 in black right there to start our new row. All right, so now we're going to pick up a 15/0 in black, an 11/0 in black, and an 11/0 in purple. We're exiting this 11/0 in black. We're going to come through the purple bead on the row and on the diagonal. Then we're also going to bring our needle through the 11/0 in black, skipping the 15/0. And we're going to repeat that 4 more times. All right, so repeating that, I'm picking up a 15/0 in black, 11/0 in black, and a purple 11/0. Coming out of this 11/0 in black, going through the purple 11/0 on the row and on the diagonal, and also advance through the 11/0 in black. Do that again. 15/0, 11/0 in black, 11/0 in purple, coming through the purple on the row, the 11/0, and the one on the diagonal. And also advance through the 11/0 in black. And do that again. 15/0, 11/0 in black, 11/0 in purple, going through the 11/0 on the row and on the diagonal, and also through the 11/0 in black. Do that one more time. 15/0, 11/0 in black, 11/0 in purple, going through the 11/0 and the 11/0 on the diagonal in purple. And through the 11/0 in black. So that's what you should have. Now we're going to pick up 15/0 in black, 11/0 in black, and 2 11/0s in purple to end this row. So we're going to bring our needle through this purple bead right here, now we're going to skip the 15/0 and we're going to go through the 11-0 in black. We're going to pick up a 15-0 in black. Come down through the 11-0 in purple. Now we're going to do a 15-0 in purple. And we're going to go through this 11-0 in purple and the 15-0 in purple. Now we're going to advance through the purple 11-0 right here. And now we're going to advance through these last two beads, the 11-0 and the 15-0 in black. And that completes the pattern. So these last 5 steps, and if you need to rewind the video, is how you do the pattern, and you continue. If you want to alternate colors, from here I would start with the white, so I do black, white, black, white. From here I would do black, purple. I'm doing 2 colors here. But if you want to do multiple colors, you certainly can. You just want to make sure you repeat these 5 steps, and you want to end your row with this border of black. So if you need to stop the video and rewind to the point where we started this, that's how you're going to continue the pattern till you get the length of the bracelet that you want. Now, what I did was I did a multicolor. I ended up doing another sample with 3 colors. So as you can see, I have the black. I started with teal or white. I started with white. Then I did I started with white, I did purple, and then I did teal, and then I repeated those 3. And it's that same pattern, the last 5 steps we did. So if you need to rewind, you can do multiple colors like this, or you can just do 2 colors. You could do black and white, and just have the black border with all white and black border in between. It's whatever you choose. So the thing is, you want to have your 11-0 and 15-0 Miyukis in the same color if you're doing multiple colors. And that will be easier to keep up with the pattern. So that's how you do this bracelet. So that's just a quick and dirty example of how to do the pattern. So here's the length of the bracelet that I chose to have. Let's see if I can raise this up a little more. So what we're going to do now, once you have completed your pattern, you're basically just going to weave your thread through, tie a couple of half hitch knots, and you're going to cut that thread off. So I've already done that on this side. So I have the clasp on this end, and what we're going to do is put the clasp on this end. Now this is a slider clasp, and when you're working with these, I recommend that you leave it attached so that you make sure you're attaching the other end correctly, because if you have it upside down when you're connecting, you're going to have to redo it. So I usually leave it attached so that I know the orientation of the connection should be with it facing this way. So all we're going to do is attach some jump rings here. So additional tools you need, and I didn't mention that at the beginning, but you do need a couple of flat nose pliers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up 3 jump rings, and the way you fasten this is you're going to open this nice and wide, and you want to bring your jump ring through the second square. So if you notice, that's my first one, and this is my second one right here. So I'm going to just bring that through like that. And I want to make sure I'm going through my first loop on my slider. So that'll be right here. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. All right, so there's one. So we're going to do that again. get our next jump ring. Open that nice and wide. And I'm going to go into not the very next square, but the one after that. So I'm going to skip one and go into the center. And then I'm going to go into the next loop on my slider and close. And then I've got one more jump ring to add. Just open that nice and wide. And I'm going through the next to the last unit. And then through my slider and close. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that multicolor, very pretty. And it's very smooth and comfortable to wear. And to open it, you just pull your slider apart. And there's the finished length of the bracelet. Let's see if I can get this to focus a little better. Oh, you can see that up close. Let's see if I can adjust my camera. All right, you can see that a little better. So the finished length on this ended up being, I'm going to say about 7 inches. Let's get that out. Yeah, pretty close to 6 3/4, almost 7 inches. Now, if for some reason this ended up being a little too short for you, the nice thing about this is that you could take this off and you can add some additional jump rings to add some length to it. But keep in mind, you know, that you can also add extra rows if you want, and so forth. And if you didn't want to do a slider clasp, you could certainly do toggle clasp. You would just have to do a couple of rows of seed beads here at the end, and you could put wire guardian or however you want. But the slider clasp works kind of nice with this because of the angle. So you've got some little bit of play in this. All right, so this concludes today's tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I thank you for joining me today. Also, I hope that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. I'll have links in the description box for all the beads today where you can find the materials, including the slider clasp and jump rings. I also have a website where I sell my own jewelry. Feel free to check that out and keep a watch because I do have periodic sales. All right, so I hope you all have a wonderful week. Happy beading, and I'll see you next time.